Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is that you're choosing to watch this video. I'm glad you're here. If you're new to the channel, my name's Todd. Welcome. Today is the day. Today is the day that I'm going to try to pull all this together and create King Tut's tomb, or at least my version of that. So that's what this video is going to be about. If that sounds interesting, stick around. Before I do that though, I've got a mess to clean up out here. I got to put some of this stuff away. So that's going to be the first step. And then I'm going to decorate the inside and the outside to get it all set and ready for the final showing. I changed my mind. I'm not going to clean up first because that's no fun. I think what I'm going to do is clean up, decorate, and build at the same time. Like, for example, I still have to make some signs for outside of the haunt here. I'm thinking on these two pieces of wood here, I'm going to make a sign that says on the top, tickets, and then down here, the price of admission. So I'm going to go ahead and paint these now. That way they'll dry and then I could finish them. By the way, if you're wondering, it's about 8 a.m. in the morning. One of the other projects that I need to finish up today for out here is a project that I actually started last weekend, and I'm not even sure what you call it or what the correct terminology is, but basically I'm making some roping that will be used for crowd control. That type of roping that you'd find in a theater or at a concert, or any type of roping that kind of funnels people or keeps people away from touching things or going someplace where they shouldn't. So in front of this wall here and then the back wall there, I'm going to make that roping that basically says stay back. And how I'm going to do that is I made these little posts here out of some scrap wood that I had, and then I bought a few pieces of wood, painted them black, and I've got 4 of these. I also have these plastic chains that I bought at the Dollar Tree probably 3 or 4 years ago. I thought they were cool and I just bought a bunch of them. So the plan is to fasten a couple of these together using some wire, and then attach them to these posts. And that will set in front of this wall and the back wall there where the mummy's going to be. I love using cloth to decorate with, so I'm going to use a lot of it out here today. The cloth kind of ties everything together and fills in the big gaps, and hopefully it'll make this seem tighter and more condensed and hopefully more creepier. Let me show you what I have. I've got, like I said, I've got different textures, different colors, and different sizes of cloth. And this cloth, most of it I picked up at the Goodwill store for pennies on the dollar. I've got this burgundy color. I picked that up this year. And this is like 4 feet wide by like 20 feet long. The brown, which is like 4 feet long, or 4 feet wide and 20 feet long too. I've got some old shears. I've got an old gray sheet. I've got an old white sheet. I also bought some canvas drop cloth. And this was fairly cheap also. I thought this would kind of look nice on the walls in here, draped around, to make it look like the inside of like a tomb, stonework. So I'm anxious to see how that looks. And this is, I believe, 4 by 12. And there might be 2 of them in here, I'm not sure. Maybe just 1. But I'll probably end up like cutting it in several different sections and hanging it in different places in here. So that's actually going to be probably the toughest part of decorating out here, is hanging all this cloth. And then once I get all the cloth hung up, then I can go in and start adding the little pieces and moving things around. I might even throw some cobwebs in there and hang a few bats. And you know I'll be using some creepy cloth. Love this stuff too. I'm just going to use some little thumbtacks to hold the cloth onto the walls. They hold really well and they won't damage the wood too much. Just a little pinprick. I'm just going to start doing it. I might go back and adjust it later as I move the cloth around, but you've got to start somewhere. Hopefully I'll start by not falling. There were 2 pieces of canvas cloth in that bag, and like I said, they're both 4 by 12 feet long. I think I'm going to use one of them back here in a corner to cover up my refrigerator and my TV. And I won't cut that one, so I'll be able to use it for other projects later on. Now, the other one here, I'm not going to cut this one either, I don't think. I don't think I'm going to have to. I'm either going to put it on the ceiling back here behind the painting on the wall, or in front of the windows. I'm not sure yet. I also have some of this packing paper that came in a box that I had bought some stuff, and it was a big box, and they used all this paper here to fill in the voids so the package, the contents wouldn't rattle around. But I thought this stuff here might be nice to use on the ceiling and on the walls also. Just give the area a little bit more texture and some depth. Thought it might look kind of nice. In fact, I'm really thinking about using it in the corner in the back here behind the sarcophagus. I took a little break, walked downtown to the coffee shop, got me a coffee and a cheesecake cupcake. Delicious. Now I'm ready to work again. I'm going to take the sarcophagus outside so I can work on this back wall here, or the side wall I should say. I'm thinking, like I said earlier, I'm going to hang that brown canvas cloth up here, or on this wall here, cover the windows. And then that mummy sign that I made earlier in the year, I think I'm going to put that right across the top here. Apollo decided to come out and join me. Bring a little blanket out here and he can lay down out here with me. Or lay on the floor, I should say, while I'm working. On this corner of the wall here, I'm going to use one of my torches that I made earlier this year. I have 4 of these. I have one in the back corner. I'm going to put one here, one on this wall here, and then one on the back corner. Now, for this one here, I'm going to use this battery operated flickering flame light. Otherwise, I'd have to hide the cord for the light and run the cable. So to avoid that, I'm just going to put this flame light, which is actually pretty bright at night if it's fully charged, inside of here. I went ahead and stuck a nail in the foam there, and I'll just hang this up like so, and then this will drop in there, and that will be my torch. I never finished putting the highlights of silver to make it look like metal on these holes here, so I'm going to do that now. Just going to use some gray craft paint. These little slits in here, they really help that light kind of flicker in there. I originally tried without these little slits. I thought there'd be enough flickering light just at the top, but it didn't look very good. So I went back with my saw and did some plunge cuts in the front and on the side, and now that light, when it flickers, you can really see it. As you can see, there's no real rhyme or reason to this either. You just do it. This is what I'm going to hang up over there where I put the pool. I'm going to use another piece of wood, put it on the top, and hang this to it. I've made some real progress. I'm just about done. I've got the outside pretty much decorated the way I want it. So all I need to do out there is kind of light the torches and a few other things, but that's done. The inside, I still need to finish this wall here, put all the little treasures in its place, add some creepy cloth to some certain areas around here. I've got to move my mummy, bring the sarcophagus in, and just kind of tighten things up a little bit. But other than that, I'm just about there. Hopefully tonight I'll be able to do some video, some final video of the inside, the way it's decorated. So be sure to check out the next video, because the next video will be the final walkthrough of how all this is decorated. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Until then, talk to you later.